All right. And we are back at the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. We recently talked about, we reviewed TNA Impact as well as Ring of Honor. And we also previewed NXT Level Up. And we also talked about WWE SmackDown and how all this is kind of leading up to WrestleMania. So you can anticipate these WWE SmackDown pay-per-view, not pay-per-views, events or weekly shows to kind of step up their game a little bit, kind of have WrestleMania type promos. So in that. So what I kind of want to talk about first here is we have our segment about the wrestling news round robin. So let me go ahead and start this up. The first thing I kind of want to talk about is it's pretty huge, especially if you're a wrestling fan. If you're a fan of kind of the Attitude Era, kind of progressing into the Ruthless Aggression era, is that Brock Lesnar was anticipated to come back into the WWE to kind of challenge Gunther. Perhaps, I guess, according to storylines, is that he was supposed to compete in the Royal Rumble and essentially, I don't know if he was going to win it, but he was supposed to challenge Gunther. And I know that stories have been coming around saying that Gunther's dream opponent would be Brock Lesnar. But due to circumstances and a scandal, allegations amongst him and WWE higher ups like Vince McMahon, um, they report that Brock Lesnar is probably not going to be within the WWE until maybe the end of August. That's what they were kind of saying, is that the Beast Incarnate will not make his return to WWE for at least another couple weeks. So they kind of smooth this stuff over, figure it out. The former Universal Champion, the former UFC Heavyweight Champion, obviously. I went over this in a couple podcasts ago, saying that although Brock Lesnar was very he wasn't really there every show, you can make sure that he made every pay-per-view event, he made every opponent he faced, he made every match that considered him on the match card exclusive. Like when Brock Lesnar was fighting somebody, you saw it on social media, all over social media. You saw it on TikToks, you saw it on Instagram Reels, you saw it on Facebook posts. And you didn't just see it via pro wrestling. You also saw it on UFC because UFC also keeps tabs on Brock Lesnar because of course, he was the UFC heavyweight champion. Like he did pretty good as a UFC wrestler. Actually, one of the best, as opposed to like Dave Batista and CM Punk, who fought in UFC and kind of didn't really, make it to where they wanted to be. But you go out there and you give it all you got. You give it all you got. Sometimes you wish more, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a good fighter. Like a lot of people say that, oh, this fake, this choreographed, scripted WWE star wants to try to make a name in a real man sport. Like get over it. Get over it. Like wrestling is a sport. Wrestling, do these guys get hurt more often than UFC fighters? These guys fight like twice a week, sometimes three times a week. And UFC fighters, they fight once a week or once a year, once or twice a year. It all depends how big the guy is. So let's put that one to bed right there. So I don't know. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. Like I said, I kind of wanted to see Brock Lesnar come back. To kind of see how he mixes up with Gunther. I think that would be one hell of a match. But hey, patience is a virtue. Maybe as the WWE universe, will stay patient and we'll get the match that we desire. In that. So next wrestling news I want to touch on is that The Undertaker is considering making a comeback. Will he be here in this WrestleMania? I doubt it. It's kind of like I know Taker, The Undertaker right now. He's in amazing shape. He's probably been in the best shape of his life, like within the last like 10 or 15 years. I know that you know, he's right now I think he's living in Texas. I think he's that American badass like Texas guy. Like I said, the last match that I saw him in, I believe was that match with AJ Styles with the studio production where they were fighting at that house and like he chokeslammed him into like the buried alive kind of grave. But I don't know. I feel like The Undertaker in his state probably could win a couple more matches, but The Undertaker is prominently known and his kind of MO is fighting superstars at WrestleMania. But I just don't know right now a superstar that would be able to challenge The Undertaker. And if The Undertaker would have hinted at coming back at this WrestleMania, I feel like, signals would have been off by now. Like there would have been promos, there would have been like little Easter eggs where like you'd see like a burning cross or the T or like a casket or just like the lightning strike, like but you kind of really haven't really been seeing that, so I'm not really getting my hopes up. But I don't know. The Undertaker being in wrestling is just amazing. Like I know some of his matches really aren't up to par. Like I watched that match. I think it was at oh man. I think it was at Crown Jewel where him and Kane fought Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And I remember watching that match and I was so excited because I was like, attitude, error, making a comeback, baby. But then I watched that match and I just kind of saw these guys like I don't know. I was a little disappointed to be honest. It was like finding out Santa Claus isn't real or like the Easter Bunny or finding out your favorite sports heroes, a total jerk. Like it was like such a letdown. And I just remember Undertaker trying to he was attempting to make like a tombstone pile driver on Triple H and he stumbled like he just wasn't I don't like I think that when that happened, I kind of turned down the volume a little bit and I looked at my wife and I was like, I was looking forward to this match the most. And but they get older, and maybe I need to realize that as a wrestling fan, like you know, kind of get out of a la di da land. But I don't know. What I want you to take away from this is the Undertaker's looking good. He's looking fast. He's looking fresh. He's looking ready to get back in that ring. So we'll see where the Undertaker comes back. You know, or this is just like hoopla. Hopefully it's not because I like Taker. The next one I have John Cena is really thinking retirement. I know I recently shared a podcast on the John Cena telling on the Drew Barrymore show that he has not yet received an invitation for this year's WrestleMania. But John Cena retiring, like I don't know, like growing up watching wrestling, John Cena was probably one of the most dominant wrestlers during my time. Probably during I want to say probably during the 2004 or 5 or 2. I think 2002 he beat Kurt Angle or he beat Brock Lesnar. But I don't know, like in 2004, 2005, so probably ah man, he was very, very, very prominent in the world like professional wrestling industry for the longest time like till like 2018. Like this guy's been like, around for a decade plus and he's still producing good matches. He's still doing killer promos. And during his later career, he was putting over like a lot of young talent, kind of like Austin Theory. And Bray Wyatt. Like he kind of wanted Bray Wyatt to kind of, progress. But John Cena's just good for wrestling. I like John Cena. Like he has a new movie out where he's like an actor portraying this fictional character by these guys that's on Amazon Prime. That I kind of want to watch. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm gonna watch it because it's John Cena. John Cena is amazing. John Cena is a fighter. John Cena is a wrestling god. No, that was JBL. But anyways, John Cena is just he's WWE. He's represented a company very, very, very well within his tenure. So I don't know. I hope he's not going to say goodbye, but maybe sometimes it's hard to say goodbye. But, John C- all right, right now I think it's the perfect time to move on from this Johnson because I'm getting a little emotional here. All right, now we're going to move on to the next major wrestling story is that RVD has been reported in like that he's talking with AEW with Tony Khan. Um, if RVD comes back, that would be pretty cool. I think he's like 50 years old now, but oh man, he made such an impact. I remember when he debuted with the WWE Invasion kind of thing. He was one of the superstars out of the ECW roster and the WCW roster to kind of flourish with Vince McMahon. And I think that had to do with a lot of his talent. But once again, I'm a conspiracy theorist, and I think from the get-go, WCW and ECW superstars kind of came into the WWE, kind of like, set up to fail. But like I said, but that's conspiracy theorist to me. But I don't know. RVD did really, really good. And I remember during that the ECW one night stand where he challenged John Cena for the title. It made waves. It was pretty prominent. It was cool. I remember when he would just do the Rolling Thunder. He would do the 5-star frog splash. He would go coast to coast. RVD is definitely one of the best like high flyers. He was the best cruiserweight, but then again, he can fight in the heavyweight category. He was huge in ECW. Obviously, a lot of ECW legends like Sandman, Just Incredible, Tommy Dreamer, Terry Funk, the Dudley Boys, and I'm honestly I would consider Paul Heyman like part of like the ECW history because he was the guy. Like Paul Heyman was pretty prominent. But anyways, so RVD, if he came back to AEW, I think that would be pretty cool. Like kind of like a nostalgia kind of feeling. I don't think they would put him through too many like gruesome matches. Kind of like how they had Sting in like the tag team division with Darby Allin. That's where I can kind of see the Rob Van Dam, like the RVD like character kind of be figured out through the tag team division. But hey, if some age is just a number. Age is just a number. Like you could work out super hard, you can be a wrestler. And I think even Ric Flair's wrestling matches, and he's in his 70s. A lot of superstars are still fighting at at older ages, but I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to see how RVD kind of ends up in that. So all right, that was my wrestling news round robin. And next, so don't go anywhere. Our segment number, no, not that. We already did that one. Um, so our last segment is going to be about Kyle O'Reilly making his way back into the ring in AEW after suffering a injury and having a one neck fusion surgery. And I kind of want to further elaborate on superstars that have had the same injury and that has had this same operation. Some superstars actually sustained the operation twice, like Edge, I think Stone Cold Steve Austin, and some of them never made it back to the ring, and I don't know, some of them are still kind of on a hiatus, but all right, that's the one I kind of want to talk to you guys about the most, so stick around.